Hi, I'm Father Charles Polifka, Capuchin Franciscan for 50-some years, 52 years, I guess, something like that. And I'm a pastor over here at Annunciation Catholic Church. Been a Capuchin priest for 47 years, something like that. But anyway, I'm pastor here at Annunciation Catholic Church. And Annunciation is in Denver, Colorado. It's in a basically inner city neighborhood. And we're basically a Hispanic community. But we're kind of a changing community too. But anyway, this is a place where I do my ministry and live with my brothers across the street. And we have a beautiful community of 7 friars, 3 of whom are from Kerala and India, and the other 4 of us are from the United States here. So that's who I am, and here are some of the questions. How is it that the Bible explains the earth to be 6,000 to 8,000 years old when we know that dinosaur bones are at least 65 million years old? Well, I don't think the Bible really says or gives any indication on really the age of the world. The Bible is not meant to be any kind of a scientific treatise on how old the world is or when the world began or anything like that. The Bible is meant to give us information on how God interacted with the world. And the book of Genesis, for instance, those first 11 chapters of the book of Genesis are chapters which discuss the major things about why, the theological reasons behind the creation of the world. That God created the world, it was good. We decided that we wanted to be God, so we said no to God and wanted to do things our own way, and that's the way the disorder came into the world. The Bible doesn't deny that the world can be thousands and millions of years old. It doesn't deny that at all. It's just a matter of looking at the Bible from the point of view of what God wanted us to know. And he wanted us to know that he created it good. There's a purpose in the world. There's a reason for things in the world. That whether it was evolution or what, there's a purpose and a goal for the evolution. There's a reason why we are who we are and why we continue to be the people we are. There's a reason in the world, and God created that reason in the world. He made the world, and he created it good. We were the ones that brought evil into the world. And so, it's not a matter of determining numbers of years, how old the world is. It's more of a, why did God create the world? How did God create, and not how did God create the world, but why did God create the world? And what does he want us to know about that creation of the world? The interesting question here is, if kneeling is an act of worship, why do Catholics kneel in front of statues of Mary and the saints? Well, kneeling certainly is an act of worship, but it's also an act of humility and an act of prayer. It's a humble way of getting on our knees to pray. And we often use statues as images to remind us of things that are things that are beyond this world. We honor our grandparents, we honor our people in our family who are very much who are heroes in our family by putting their pictures up in our living rooms or in our homes. We have these pictures on the walls, and we might honor them. But sometimes, when the anniversary of their death, we might put a candle in front of them, just as a reminder that they are still alive and their life is now changed. It's another world. We do things like that. Well, when we go into churches, our churches or something, we have all of our heroes around there, whether that's Mary or Peter or Paul or Andrew or one of the apostles or St. Anthony or St. Francis or whoever it might be. Sometimes just to put ourselves into a moment of reflection and a moment of prayer, we kneel. It's not that we're adoring the statue or not that we're adoring that person. It's that we're recognizing the goodness of that person, and we want that person as our brother or our sister to be an intercessor for us before God, before Jesus. So it's not an act of worship as much as it is an act of humility or an act of recognizing that they were good people, and we acknowledge the fact that they are very good people.